Hey everyone, Tin Man here, back with some more Dota Underlords. We're going to be playing some ranked standard mode here. I spent most of my day playing in the Underlords Pro weekly tournament, where I got a little bit better handle on the meta, got to play with a lot of really good players. I managed to finish, I think it was 11th place, or 10th/11th place in that tournament out of like 100-some participants, so it was pretty good. Not the highest I could have gotten, but, you know, not too bad. Some of the things I learned about the current meta, Hunters, still very strong. And we got a good Hunter start here with a pair of Drow Rangers and into Wind Rangers. So we already have that really powerful Vigilant Alliance. Even though the Void Hunter aspect has been nerfed, in one of the games in the tournament earlier today, I played 6 Heartless and just said, nope, we're just not going to play any Void. And it was still pretty decent, just running 6 Heartless along with the Hunter build. And, you know, you still have tons of damage output since the Heartless shreds their armor so well. And, of course, just the Hunters attack so fast and deal so much physical damage that they're still pretty good. So we get the first round win here with the Nyx Assassin up on the front line with his spiked Carapace. We could pick up an Ogre Cap, which used to be like the best item in the game, but of course it has been somewhat nerfed here. I'm not even a huge fan of Morbid Mask, if I'm being honest. Let's take a reroll. We can pick up Gloves of Haste. I think I like that a little bit better in a Hunter build just because... you know, you want those fast attacks, especially if you end up playing Void. You want those fast attacks to really trigger the Void Alliance as many times as possible. If I was going for, like, guaranteed to go more Heartless, maybe Claymore was slightly better. It's kind of close between the two, but just because of the interaction with Void and you want lots of attack speed, I think I'm going to opt slightly more towards the Gloves of Haste side. Okay, we're up against an open fort opponent, so we do take an easy win here as we get a Shadow Demon in to replace the Nyx Assassin to grab the Heartless, but of course that doesn't really matter here. We also have Bristleback and Tusk in case we want to go towards like a Savage kind of build. I really like this animation bug in Tusk where his it's like a rock on like a chain, and something weird in their physics engine, sometimes when you're moving them, it like floats in the air. It looks like he's holding a balloon, even though that's supposed to be like a heavy rock that he hits people with. But by just moving him around on the bench, you can fix that. I don't really know if I wanted to fix that, though, to be honest. Here we see a pair of Tinies, and also an Ember Spirit is pretty solid. I think because I got the first 2-round wins, and you know my build's okay right now, I think I'm actually going to sell off the Bristleback and these other guys here, and just get up to 10 gold for interest, lock that in right away. And then, kind of post-combat, or once interest locks in, we'll buy the Tinies. We'll just buy everything in this pack. Doesn't hurt to keep that option open. Looking at the scoreboard, we did see a couple people on this kind of open fort strategy where they just intentionally don't play units. They're still buying units. They're still playing the game, but they're just opting for an intentional losing streak right off the bat. And that will allow them to get the free rerolls and also get losing streak gold. But it also has the side effect of giving me a nice, easy winning streak. So I'm not complaining too much here. Still no 2-star units to be found, which is a little concerning. Even though I do have this win streak, I don't really know if it's going to continue against opponents who are actually playing units. Like we see an opponent here has got 2 2-stars. So I am a little bit hesitant. 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have sold off like everything except the Drow Ranger on my bench to grab 20 gold for interest. But since I have so many, well, I've got some pairs. I got some warriors I kind of want. I didn't really want to sell off the pair of Tinies. That was the big one, if I'm being honest. The pair of Tinies here that I didn't really want to sell off. So, you know, maybe now in hindsight that we lost this round, maybe I should have, just to really get that that gold going here. Could have sold up to 20 gold, but that would just compromise a lot of what I was going for here. So we can pick up Stonehall Cloak, but even though we have, you know, a couple wins, we don't really have too many. We don't really want that on our backline Hunters. I do love Barricades a whole lot in this build. In my guide for like a Heartless Hunter or the Void Hunter build that I put out a while ago, I pretty much said that Barricades were like a really critical item for this build, and I still stand by that. I think it really is. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna lock our units back in here like so, and you know, let them walk forward in the Shadow Demon, but then, you know, even if they get to the Drow Ranger, the Wind Ranger will be untouched for a little while. Unfortunately, we're up against some insects, which makes this a little bit awkward because the insects can very easily get into the back line. And the Vigilant Alliance is kind of countered hard by the Nyx Assassin, because his Spike Carapace just reflects the critical damage from Vigilant. So it looks like we're going to take a loss here. Not the biggest deal. Pick up a Lifestealer, use our free reroll. Enigma can go towards Void Hunters. I just feel like I haven't really got anything towards a different direction, and with the 2-star Drow Ranger, the Lifestealer, the more Enigmas, yeah, I definitely think that's just the direction we're going. It's a really strong build, so I'm not like upset to be going that way. That being said, I think maybe Lifestealer's a bit better right here. I don't really want to sell off any of these pairs, even though they don't really go into the Hunter build long term, like Magnus or Tiny. I still don't really want to get rid of them, just because they do have a little bit of utility. Just as, you know, just a 2-star unit is not something I'm really wanting to throw away this early on, or the potential for one. After combat here, I want to buy the Lifestealer, the Weaver, use our free reroll, and hopefully find something good. Looks like I should have plenty of time. Okay. We're on a bit of a losing streak now, but that's kind of to be expected considering how our game has progressed so far. Kind of lack of 2 stars other than the Drow Ranger, and normally you're looking for 2 stars on the melee units because they just have a bit more raw stats early on in the game. I need to sell something off. I think I sell off these extra warriors, and maybe I just run this Magnus just as a big body up front. I want to sell off those excess warriors just to get up to 30 gold of interest, and we kind of have maybe like some druid frontline, and so maybe warrior's not going to really happen, and I really needed to get to that interest threshold here. That being said, I'm not sure that since we sold off the warriors, Slarder's probably not the pick. Looks like we're going to continue this losing streak here. We find the Shadow Demon, so some more Heartless. 2-star Shadow Demons, definitely probably a better Heartless to be playing at the moment. And we're about to level up. We didn't want to level up ahead of time or any earlier than this, just because we didn't have like a winning streak, and we weren't going to really keep a winning streak. You know, I didn't think a level up was going to make us suddenly start winning, so I'd rather just focus on maximizing my interest and maximizing the units and options I held on my bench, rather than trying to level up earlier. I do see a Treant Protector here, so I think like a Treant plus a Magnus is probably just a pretty good early game synergy here. I don't think we're ever going to go for a 3-star on that. I just think, you know, maybe running 2 druids for the time being is probably a pretty good option. And we also find the pair of Wind Rangers here. So things looking pretty good. This barricade doing overtime work here really stopped that the Snapfire's Mortimer Kisses. They were just all hitting the barricades, so that was really nice to keep everybody alive up there. I'll buy the pair of Chaos Knights, but I really don't even want to get them to 2-star. I don't think that's really where I want to be. Target Buddy's not a bad one. I'm going to be a little bit short on equipable items then, since I picked up 2 contraptions, but I think this contraption is pretty good for this style of build, since we're going to be so focused in the back line and we kind of want to funnel people towards us. So yeah, so we got the 2-star Wind Ranger. That's pretty good. I think I move the Gloves of Haste over to her, but I think I wait another turn to level up, because it would cost me 15 gold, and I kind of want to buy the Luna and the Wind Ranger. So I don't want to lose my interest just yet, and then we'll level up for next turn and put in the Treant, who'll be a 2-star. I actually just realized we need to move the Target Buddy 1 step closer to this backline here, so that they opponents who are going to the Target Buddy are still within range of my Hunters, because as it stands right now, they potentially could be out of range and somebody like Wind Ranger won't attack them while they're attacking the Target Buddy, which would be no bueno. We can check that based on the range indicators. You can see the highlighted cells for her kind of are this line of cells, but like if an opponent's right here, Wind Ranger won't be able to attack. Now anybody who's on to the Target Buddy is going to be in range of this Wind Ranger by putting them up close like this. To kind of make sure that my melee units go... Actually, how do I want to do this? I was thinking I wanted my melee units to be on the right-hand side of this Target Buddy, but Doesn't really work now that I've got 2 melee units. Okay, in terms of Underlord choice, damage, support, and Essex is by far the best one for this style of Hunter build, just because you're very auto-attack reliant. Actually, now that we got our Underlord, I'm just going to rearrange kind of everything here. Give my units a little bit more space to roam. And, yeah, I think this makes sense. Oh, don't need this Luna out there just yet. Do want to pick up the Pudge. I don't think Weaver's going to make the cut. He normally is a good early game hunter that you would play for most of the early stages of the game, just to get 3 hunters and you maybe get 2 insects. But we're kind of getting past that point, and we've got like the druids to kind of bridge that gap. So I just want to sell that off, clear up space for the Pudge. Kind of same deal with Luna. We're probably just going to get to Templar Assassin and Mirana before we get this Luna online. And since we don't have an Abaddon, don't have a 2-star Luna yet, it's pretty unlikely we're going to need that one. Fortunately, we do take a loss here against an opponent who leveled up to 6, so a little painful there, but not too much of a worry. Looking around at the rest of the table, there's what, 1 person on Vigilant? That's not a lot of competition for the style of build, so I'm feeling pretty confident about the situation. Let's take a reroll. We do find the Lifestealer 2-star. Yeah, I'll take that. Since that would give us Brute as well, definitely want to make that swap over this Shadow Demon. I probably need to reposition him because right now he's going to be stuck behind the barricade, but that's kind of okay if we funnel every unit around. And if Lifestealer takes a couple extra seconds to get into combat, that's okay. That means he's not going to be burst down very quickly. And he's going to draw them further away from our hunters. Unfortunately, they stole my Treant, which is pretty good. We stole their Bat Rider, which, like, he casts pretty frequently, so he's going to trigger the Demon bonus, and it looks like we should get this. Well, they've got a Witch Doctor versus a Wind Ranger. I think the Wind Ranger wins it with the Heartless bonus, but it's close. Basically a tie. We've got the Barricade, though. The Barricade's the important part here. I think the Barricade's going to win it for us. Definitely is. Or this could go to a draw, for all I know. This could be a long one. In the meantime, I'm going to pick up this Beastmaster, although I really don't think I'm going to play it. No, I think... This is a draw. There's no way this is going to go... Yeah, this is a draw. Okay. No way someone dies in this time. I think actually we would have lost if it went long enough. They had enough health total on their Essex. They had higher health total, so I think they would have won it in the long fight. But yeah, that was a mess. Okay, I definitely want to level up. Yeah, I'm just going to level up now. I'll solve this Beastmaster, get in this Lifestealer, and kind of place him like so. And then after Interest locks in, we'll buy the Pudge. And probably get rid of this Luna. I don't think we're going to play her event at any point. Because I think we're looking for the Mirana as our next Vigilant. Pick up that Pudge. And then we're really looking to level up as quickly as possible right after this as well, just because we are so close to, you know, 4th Heartless. That's another big power spike. This level up on level 6 is kind of a weak point for the build, unless you're adding in like a Mirana that you got early, or, you know, some other good 2-star hunter, because you don't really complete any good alliances, like, you know, at least in the way I'm building it right now with the Brutes and the Druids. We can pick up Maelstrom here. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to stick with Brutes long term. I think this Druid is just kind of a bridge to the late game. But Maelstrom is always going to be great in a Hunter build. You attack so fast, you get to trigger it so often, especially on Wind Ranger, who has super fast attack speed. And yeah, that's going to be great for us. So I think what I just want to do is just level up again here to 7. It will cost me a gold of interest this time. I'll sell off the Luna to get me back up to 20. But, you know, I'll lose 1 gold just to get... a pretty big power spike that it's hopefully going to help me win the game anyway, or win the round anyway, and it just makes that 1 gold right back. Even though normally you're really looking for as much interest as possible, in this particular case, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that quicker level up when you have a big power spike to hit, and it's still as efficient.
I'll break any rule I have.
As you can see here, we're just shredding right through them. Even though they got knights in the damage reduction, they just have -9 armor, and it's not close. Boom! 16. Big hit. Alright, next order's of business, we're looking for a hunter, ideally Mirana. Looking for, or I guess Medusa, but that would require level 8. Looking for more voids, or, you know, maybe if void doesn't work out, we just look for 6 Heartless. Something like Necrophos could go towards that, for sure. So, Necrophos is a good replacement for either Lifestealer or Shadow Demon in the late game. Depends on which one you want to play, or if you get an Abaddon, you could replace either of them. Because even though Lifestealer is like kind of tanky if you're running the Brute debuff, which I probably won't have if I cut the Treant at some point, he's kind of like a carry unit, right? He's mainly a damage dealer, and this build doesn't need damage dealers other than Drow Ranger, Wind Ranger, Mirana, really. They deal quite enough damage on their own. So getting like a melee damage dealer doesn't really fit the bill for this style of build. Whereas like just a tankier unit like Abaddon, or even somebody like Necrophos / Shadow Demon can kind of tank and provide some CC or healing and just mitigate damage. Alright, so good solid win there. We'll pick up the Necrophos before the round runs out and I forget about it. Can pick up the Weaver here just in case I don't have anything, any other hunter to put in by the time I level up, because that'll probably be what I want to put in, is that 3rd hunter. Hopefully it's not Weaver, hopefully it's Mirana. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That being said, I don't really see a reason to be rerolling here. You know, we could get a 2-star Pudge maybe, but in general we're looking to get much higher levels. Oh, that didn't end well at all. Our Wind Ranger was like, got hooked and didn't even attack for the first couple seconds of combat, as in when he was trying like too slow walking out. I think we need to bring the opposing units closer to us. Even with this barricade, it kind of locked us in when opponents were stacked on this side in particular. So like one way to fix that is kind of do something like this, which is, you know, just like pull everybody even further back off the line. It's like I had the units a couple steps further forward, and by really pulling them back, this should hopefully force opponents to come to us and get in range of our Wind Ranger and whatnot. Being said, I do think I want to move Drow Ranger back into this corner, because if anybody wants to get hooked, it wants to be the Drow Ranger, not the Wind Ranger. Even though it kind of removes her aura from the Shadow Demon, I think the odds of opponent having a Pudge is probably greater and a bigger deal to me right now. Just keep this Wind Ranger alive, prevent her from being hooked. I think we get the win here with this Enthralled Witch Doctor. He's going to get a big stun on their whole team. That should buy us plenty of time. Perfect. I do want to pick up this Void Spirit after combat here. And probably on when my interest, or, you know, in 2 turns, when my XP is 5 of 35, that's when we'll level up. I can pump in my excess gold right now, though. So 15 of 35. If I need to sell a spot, I'll probably sell off this extra Weaver. So in round 17, I really just like to reroll unless I see a tier 4 item here. Just really looking for a tier 4. Refresher Orb works. It's not a great unit for it. Eventually, like, it can go on something like Necrophos or Faceless Void or something. I really was hoping for like a, you know, a Moon Shard or some kind of attack speed item. That being said, yeah, I think I just sell off this excess Weaver. Can work okay on like Treant or even Shadow Demon. Actually, could probably use it. The Demon does, of course, suffer from the 4-second of, you know, being a demon being silenced, but you know, it's still fine. Eventually, can go on some of the bigger impact units here. If Shadow Demon just disables 2 people and basically gets to kill them because that his ability hits so hard, but unfortunately he just gets 1 cast off, does not get a 2nd cast off before he's dead. Well, gaining mana so slowly will do that to you. Against these assassin style build. Bloodseeker basically doing his best impression of an assassin. That certainly hurt. Oh well. Let's level up and put in a hunter? Or put in another Heartless.
This is the edge I was
Or put in Void. There we go. Those were a couple big upgrades. So let's replace these druids, right? This work? I think this works. Yeah, I don't have a full hunter alliance yet. But we got Void. We got Heartless. Does Lifestealer still make sense, or does Shadow Demon make more sense? I think Shadow Demon's probably better than Lifestealer for this build. I probably should have sold some stuff off to make sure I grabbed interest. I was too focused on making sure my comp was right. But I should have sold these guys off. Use our free reroll, find a 2-star punch. Sweet. And I still didn't even get the comp right. Because I want to put this Shadow Demon in instead of the Lifestealer. Okay, so that one didn't even go that well. That was unfortunate. The lack of a hunter is a bit problematic here. Lack of the Marana, that is. That's still the best way to be using barricades. It's okay. Alright, this will work. I think I might want to entirely swap my formation over to the left side, because that one person we lost to last round was like a similar kind of hunter comp. They were stacked up on this far left side, and we just like had very inefficient use of our like positioning. Like our hunters were just like not hitting the right targets, and like people were out of range, and our barricades weren't doing anything. So I think it may be wise to make a little bit of swap in formation here. Just literally swap, same thing but mirrored to the other side. We do take a win here though. Almost knock out an opponent on round 20. This is very much a case of like the top half of the table having, you know, plus above 40 life, and the bottom half getting really low. Well, the bottom 3 people at least getting very low. Alright, really looking for that Marana for the Vigilant, the Hunter bonus. Instead, I think I want to reroll at least a little bit here on this level. Maybe hit some of these upgrades if possible. Fun here. Alright. Not sure that Refresh Orb on Void Spirit's the best. It does kind of stack, you know, he gets in one, does his damage and armor reduction, and then gets to do it again. So I guess that's fine, assuming he survives long enough to cast twice. Maybe not the best thing, but it's functional. It was pretty good there. He was about to get burst down on the backline, so he really got to apply that debuff twice. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Sweet, and we even eliminate an opponent, because we got to steal their Medusa. Medusa is another great unit for this style of composition, if you can get one yourself. Often could replace something like the Marana or one of the other hunters, and you just run 3 Vigilant. Because getting 4 Vigilant is okay, but not really necessary. Here's what Vladimir's offering. This item is insane in this build. Obviously giving all of your units bonus damage, some lifesteal, some armor up to your front line. I'm just going to slap it on Necrophos because he's pretty tanky, and he's always going to be, you know, roughly in the middle of the action here. So let's give that to him. Let's see. I do want to level up one more time, right? Because we still want to get the Hunter bonus, either with a Medusa or a Marana. And leveling up gives me better odds on both of those. But I probably want to do that in 2 turns, so I think I might reroll. Oh, well, just reroll once, I suppose. I was going to say reroll, you know, a couple times, maybe find the Void Spirit, find the Templar Assassin 2-star. But we just find the Medusa, so I think the idea here is we just level up next turn. 2 turns for now. Oh, that's a big Legion commander. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, okay. That hurt. Legion Commander just walked up and just started one-shotting things like it was nothing. Maybe better just to throw this Medusa in. Oh, hello. Templar Assassin, yep. Take a free reroll. Let's move this Maelstrom over to the Medusa for right now. Close the face over to Templar Assassin. And then just next turn we level up. We're not at risk of being eliminated this turn, so we can wait one more turn here. And I think Medusa is just better than Wind Ranger, even at 2-star. Her split shot, every single shot has a chance to trigger this Maelstrom. And so she's going to use that pretty well. Plus also have a chance to apply the Void debuff. And her Stone Gaze is pretty good. Assuming people get close enough to her. Which, there we go. Now they've moved into range. Right in time for her to cast. Perfect. This is a fight where the barricades are doing really good work, just really funneling people right into this corridor, and they just cannot punch through the enthralled unit plus the Necrophos Vladimir's offering. And we just shred right through them. So now next turn, we're just going to pump our gold up to 39 to 40, put the Wind Ranger back in. Need to get a little more creative with my positioning though. Something like that. No. Yeah. Something like that. I just want to like probably reroll down to 0 here. We just find the Mirana. Okay, so that's going to replace, I think, the Wind Ranger. And Mirana makes the ideal target to go into the corner. Since if she gets Pudge Hook, I don't really care all that much. And I'm going to sell off the excess Wind Rangers because I think just Medusa and just running with the 3 Vigilant is probably better for what we want to do. And since our life total is so low and like the game is kind of, I think, coming to a relatively rapid conclusion here, I don't think there's going to be enough time for me to get up to level 10 to put the Wind Ranger back in to get the Vigilant. It just doesn't seem very likely, considering our gold situation. It's far more likely that we just get to reroll a whole lot for Void Spirit, maybe a Faceless Void, maybe, 2-star Mirana, and then, something along those lines. Rather than leveling up again, because like there's already just 4 people left, and really people are within a few rounds of being eliminated. You could take a hit for 15 here, so it's really not all that long left in the game. Lich is pretty good to replace a Shadow Demon if we can get the Lich up to 2-star. Hey, we get the Mirana up to 2-star. Going to give her the, I guess the Gloves of Face probably makes sense. I was thinking maybe you could even give her the Refresher Orb, but maybe not. Nothing here. Just rerolling down just in case we found the Void Spirit, then I would sell off the 2 Drow Rangers to pick it up. Otherwise, yeah, I think doing pretty good. Now that we're just down to a couple opponents here, after this round I'm going to spend a little bit of time scouting out what my opponent's formations and exact compositions are, so I can maybe target them a little bit better. Looks like we do take the win here. We enthrall their big Legion commander. That was pretty sweet. Looking around, there's still an Assassin build, and there's basically 2 Knight/Legion commander builds, which is kind of good. The Legion Commander got a little bit nerfed in the most recent patch. She no longer can heal while she is dueling. The fact that I do have a Medusa and there's 2 like kind of Knights-based builds moves me towards this Cadence Blade. And also the Assassin kind of nullifies a lot of the healing from the other 2 options. So we'll put the Maelstrom out on back on the Mirana, and we can just shuffle around our items like so. Putting the Faceless Void, who I think is just a strict upgrade over this Enigma, even at 1-star here. We find the 2-star Void Spirit. And yeah, things are looking pretty good. You can just sell off this Enigma. And now Faceless Void can stun some of the backliners that'll cause us some problems. And just generally kind of split up the fight, so as people try to like walk backwards to go deal with him, and like we just stall this Treant Protector from getting involved in the combat until already most of the other units are dead. Like their big tank didn't do anything. Their board's already gone before this Treant Protector has done much of anything. And so that's really the power of that Faceless Void, even at 1-star, just really breaking up the fight and sending people into the back is a really big bonus here. Still holding on to this Lich because we want to get generally use it to replace the Shadow Demon. I think that'll be pretty good, especially against the Assassins. If he can come up to 2-star, that would be pretty big. And also I'm just rerolling for Yeah, the potential of Medusa. Nothing to be found here, but no matter. This game, like I said, is coming to a relatively rapid conclusion. At the pace that damage is going out for everybody here, this game's over in like 2 turns. Because we just dealt 18 to this Legion Commander build last turn, and so another fight like that, and they're just out of here. Here's the Assassin build. I think this is probably one of our better matchups, I think. Because Medusa pretty rapidly gets her cast off, stuns up everybody, and we just have a ton of damage, and Assassins are... they struggle a lot against barricades, for one thing, because the Faceless Void can't get in here. And, yep, the Faceless Void, they just can't... Like, my units are never going to move out. They're going to be very clumped up here. And the Assassins just cannot get in to get to the Drow Ranger, cannot get onto the an Essex or the Shadow Demon. And that's what happens there. We just destroy them, and now we're down to just 2. Just us versus the Legion Commander comp. Like I said, game's coming pretty rapidly. So now let's just re-roll down. We find a Faceless Void and another Lich. I guess I lock for that. On the off chance we take a loss here, it probably won't be a huge loss, and so we might, you know, have a few turns here to try to find the 2-star Lich, 2-star Faceless Void, and so on. So I feel like just locking is fine here. Even if it costs us a reroll, we'll have time even if we take a loss. Yep, once again, same kind of position. The Treant Protector basically became worthless. Although my Mirana did jump right to him, which is kind of not what we wanted to have happen. And then she got enthralled, which was like pretty bad, all things considered here. And yeah, that didn't work too well. Alright, actually, I'm just gonna unlock by selling off all those and just like making the swap here. Just like doing what we just wanted to do, but without locking, so I get the reroll and get slightly better chance of finding an upgrade. I find a whole lot of Void Spirits, but nothing that I really need. Okay. What do we do differently?
It's time to fight.
Made some slight adjustments on my frontliners here. I don't think it makes much of a difference, though. I think one of the big problems was Mirana was jumping into the wrong spot. She got doomed now, so she's not going to jump. Now my Templar Assassin jumps in. They enthrall my Void Spirit with Refresh Orb, and that's problematic. Oh, yeah, that's problematic. No! Alright, we're down to 1 life, basically. Okay, I think what's... Part of the problem here is... Well, Mirana got doomed, which is definitely problematic. We kind of lack some frontline. I think we have damage if we just... Our frontline can hold up more, so maybe Tombstone helps us out here. Give us just a touch more frontline. And also, I think putting the... Putting the Templar Assassin out here actually does a lot. And I'll get to that in just a second. As I reroll down, I don't find anything. So with Templar Assassin up here, she was just like instantly attacking, but and she was never jumping to their backline. And so Mirana, the only spot she could jump to was the next closest corner, which was back here. So I think by making this slight adjustment... Oh, and that makes a Messix Archer summon there. That was not the greatest. It kind of worked here, actually. Well, the Tombstone providing a lot of time. We do enthrall their Legion Commander. That's huge. Medusa not attacking is not huge, but that doesn't matter because we're just winning. Is this enough? Is this 18? I think it is. Boom! 22! Okay, we got there. Man, so little minor positioning adjustments makes all the difference. And sometimes it's really hard to tell like what exactly in a positioning adjustment is going to do. Sometimes it backfires horribly. You think you made a good adjustment, but it doesn't work. But in cases like that, we made a little adjustment and just changed where our frontliners were. The Tombstone probably helped quite a bit. I did identify that problem of lacking frontline, so Tombstone provides a lot. And it really paid off. Even though we didn't get 2 stars on any of our tier 5 units, it didn't really matter. Just the damage from the Hunters and the Void Alliance came together to overwhelm this massive alliance of, how many alliances did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 alliances. I think that's close to the maximum you can have, just like possible in the game. Anyway, good win here with what I still think is a very, very strong build. Heartless, Hunters, Voids. Maybe Void is a little bit less of a necessity unless you're up against a lot of Knights, a lot of tanky compositions like we were, or the Legion Commander who's really tanky. If you're not up against those, you're up against more Assassins, more Savages, Summoners, Brawnies, etc. Maybe you opt for 6 Heartless instead. Void is not quite as important, but it worked out well for us there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit, and good luck, and I'll see you next time.